Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the BCR Garage. This is the Bruce City Rider, and today we're going to be doing some more Harley maintenance. Specifically, we're going to lube the clutch cable on my 2013 Harley-Davidson Road Glide Custom. If content like this interests you, and maybe you do your own Harley maintenance and you're looking for a little help, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I do quite a bit of Harley maintenance videos. I work on my Road Glide and also my Evolution powered Softail Custom. I also do motovlogs. I cover rides and rallies. I do bike gear reviews, and I do some knife related content. So again, if any of this is of interest to you, please subscribe. Alright, let me show you what you're going to need to do this job. Okay, you're going to need a couple box end wrenches, a 9/16 and a 1/2 inch. I prefer to use stubbies so there's no chance of striking my fender. These are used to loosen and tighten your clutch cable jam nut and adjuster nut. You're going to need a pair of snap ring pliers. You're going to need some cable lube. We'll be using Cable Life. You're going to want some lubricant for your pivot pin. We're going to be using Motor Coat Hyper Lubricant. You might want some WD-40 or something similar if you have a hard time moving your boot that covers your clutch cable adjustment nut up or down. Sometimes it's tough to slide, especially back over your nuts. You're going to want some shop towels. I'm going to use some short lookers, which are going to help to get this snap ring pliers onto the snap ring. You see it's quite a small fitting. And you might want to get yourself a nickel, which is going to come in handy when we do our final adjustment on our clutch cable, because you're going to want between a 1/16 and a 1/8 of an inch free play, and a nickel is right between those two measurements. Alright, well, let's get into it. Okay, here we are at the front of the bike. We have to slide this boot to the top so we can access the adjuster nuts for the clutch cable. Alright, slid up real easy. So we have to loosen the jam nut and then the adjuster nut. So I'm going to get my two wrenches. Alright, put your 1/2 inch wrench on the adjuster, and then your 9/16 on the jam nut. And you just break it free and then spin it all the way to the top, because we're going to want to get as much slack in this cable as we can. Now we start running our adjuster nut up. Alright, that should be pretty good right there. Now we got all the slack we need in our cable, so we can go up to the clutch lever right now and start removing our cable. Okay, now we're up here at the clutch lever, and as you can see, all the tension's been taken out of the cable, which will make it easy for us to remove. I'll show you the snap ring that we have to take out. It's right here on the bottom of the pivot pin. Right there where my finger is. Alright, this is a tiny snap ring. I had to change out my tips to my 39 thou tips, which are the smallest ones I've got. Okay, I'm on the snap ring. Don't know if you can see any of this, but I'm going to start Spreading it carefully. Almost had it. There she is. Well, that was fun. Okay, now we can push up our pivot pin. Right there. Now we can pull out our cable and our lever. You pull the lever back towards you and release our anchor pin, which is this white guy right here. And there's our cable. It's free. Now we're ready to lube it. There's the anchor pin right there. Okay, now we'll take our spray nozzle and we'll wedge it between the cable and the housing. It's a tight fit, but it does go. Now take a shop towel and wrap it around to catch the overspray. And then connect the other end to your cable life can or lubricant of your choice. Give it a good squeeze around your shop towel and give it a 5-second blast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the shop towel protects your bike from getting the overspray. You see we got a little overspray on the shop towel, but the bulk of it went down the cable. And now if you want, you can check the other end of your cable to see if it's coming out. Just give it a nice wipe. You can pull your cable in and out a little bit. It should be good. Now I'm going to clean up the pivot pin and the anchor pin, and then we'll put her back together. Just wanted to give you a quick shot to show you. You can watch for the lubricant to come down at the end of your cable here by your adjuster nut. You see how it's wet there? That just shows you that the lubricant made it all the way down. Alright, before I reassemble it, I'm going to just hit the pivot pin with some light oil. Alright, we're ready to reassemble. So take your lever, put the cable through, and then take your anchor pin, put it through the lever and then the cable, and it fits in this little notch right here. Alright, now you got to get the nipple in first, so you slide it in the slot. I don't know if you could see that. Let the nipple slide into the housing, bring your lever back, and then pull the cable out. And then slide it through. Now we're ready for our pivot pin, which I've already lightly oiled. So now we'll slide our pivot pin through. And we're ready for the snap ring. With your finger on top of the pivot pin, spread your snap ring. Find whatever angle works best for you. There she is. Make sure it's in the groove all the way around, and now we can start adjusting our cable tension. Okay, now we're back at the front of the bike, ready to put some tension back in our cable. So I got my 1/2-inch wrench, and I'm going to start cranking down this adjuster nut. So anyway, Harley recommends that you lube your clutch cable and your clutch lever pivot pin every 5,000 miles. What this is going to do for you is going to keep your lever action nice and smooth. It's going to prevent corrosion, prevent fraying, and possibly even breakage. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to you guys with the late model bikes, because you got hydraulic clutches and you have your own maintenance to do on those. But this is a pretty quick and easy job, and really the only bugger was the snap ring, just because it's so small and it's in an awkward position. So I'm going to snug this up just a little more and then go back up by the lever and check it. Once I got it, we're pretty close. I'll take you up top, and we'll use our nickel and check our cable slack. Alright, I got it adjusted where I think I'm close. So just give the handle a few pumps, and then pull the cable end out. Get your nickel, and it's a perfect spacing. The nickel fits right down in there with no gap. So that's where I'm gonna go with it. And it feels good. Just a little wiggle on the end of the lever. So I like that. Okay, I'll bring you back down and we'll button her up. Alright, back down here at the front of the bike, we got our 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch cable end play. Now we can run our jam nut down. Doesn't have to be real tight, just snug. And one more for good measure. Alright. Now at this point, it's a good idea to take your bike out for a ride. Bring your wrenches with you in case you have to adjust some more. But I'm pretty confident I got it where I want, so I'm going to go ahead and slide my boot down. We'll see if we can do it without the WD-40. There she goes. Can be a little bit of a bugger, but like I said, if you need to, just spray some WD-40 up in there. Alright, the boot's in place, and that's a job done. Hope this was helpful to some of you guys, and remember, this is an important maintenance item, another one of those often overlooked deals, but anyway, keep on riding and wrenching. This is the Brew City Rider saying take her easy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later, guys.